Hey everyone, what's up? It's TheThirdKnight here and welcome to episode 4 of PVM Pro. I managed to get a solid week of bossing done. I was able to use the double loot weekend to my advantage and I went Sara God Wars dungeon and Zami God Wars dungeon, so I can tick Commander Ziliana off of the bosses list right there. But yeah, it was a really solid week of bossing, and yeah, I went Sara God Wars dungeon, Zami God Wars dungeon and Glaciers. So there was a few different bosses and stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't obviously get the boots, which you would have seen in the final episode of the Road to Armadale's Staff episode from Glaciers, but I can't really complain. But yeah, I did manage to get a few insane loots from Zami. They weren't like too insane. I guess they were really good loots. I wouldn't say insane, because insane would be like, you know, something you don't really, you know, like it has to be insane. Okay, I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Anyway, we managed to get obviously the Ward of Subjugation split, which you might have seen on screen just before. And if you look on screen now, you'll see a Zamorak hilt split. And that was the start of a back-to-back-to-back split, and that was all double loot splits as well. And that was the same trip as the Ward of Subjugation split. It turned into a trio trip, and yeah, so that was really cool. You know, I don't think I've ever had a back-to-back-to-back split, especially with the double loot weekend. That made it really cool. It was a bit disappointing because the first split was really good, except it was really funny because one of the people who came bossing, one of my friends, actually, like, I think he disconnected like just before we got the hilt, and so his coin share was off. So of course we like split that later, but it was just kind of funny that happened then. And the second split was a 2 wards of subjugation, and then the final split, of course, from the boss, which is fairly rare, was a Godsword Shard 2. Or actually 2 of them. So, you know, of course they had to add the shard in there, but, you know, who cares? Still 3 back-to-back splits, so that was kind of cool. And I sort of stuffed up the recording, so sorry about that. You might have just seen, like, I had to scroll up to the Zami hilt as well as the Ward of Subjugation. It just suddenly cut into that. So sorry about that. It was really frustrating at the time because I wanted to have it all filmed in one nice line, but, you know, that doesn't always happen. Anyway, I also had an absolutely insane trip to Sara, and this was actually an insane trip in terms of the length. I managed to get 475 kill count solo, and I could have even stayed longer if I had more yak pouches. But even if I did actually have more yak pouches, I probably would have wanted to leave anyway, because I'd just been there like literally all day, and I was like getting a bit tired and a bit bored of like Sara, and I, you know, needed a bit of a break. Because you do have to concentrate a bit more there than Zami. Basically, I used Ice Barrage, and I bunched up the minions and the boss as much as I could, and then I used heaps of AoE damage abilities, so I was like piling all the minion, the boss and everything with damage and soul splitting off that, so that I could stay there pretty much. It was like Zami, really. You can camp Zamorak God Wars dungeon at the moment with no food. You can do the same with Sara like I was doing. Except Sara was a bit more difficult because it does require a slightly more concentration, because sometimes Commander Ziliana will just whack out the odd 1700, and if you're not concentrating, it could be quite easy to die, and you really don't want to die at at Sara Domin God Wars dungeon, as well as like most God Wars dungeon bosses now, because it takes a lot longer to get the kill count than it did before. But yeah, that Sara trip ended up going very well, like pretty well. I wouldn't say very well, but it went pretty well. I ended up getting 2 Sara swords and 2 Hiss amulets, as well as 6 Godsword shards, and so that was from 475 kill count. So that's pretty good. I can't complain about that. You know, 4 decent drops, the Hisses and the Sara swords. I think the Sara swords are crashing, but I'll get into, like, I'll actually go and sell that stuff later. And I didn't actually add the footage of the Godsword shards at Sara there, but that was just because, you know, it was too hard to like find it. I had like a, I don't know, I think it was like 3 or 4 hours of footage, and you know, who really wants to see 2 Godsword shards? I don't know. I'm just a bit sick of Godsword shards at the moment. But I also went on a trip to Bandos after the double loot weekend with a mate, so that was a bit of fun as well. We didn't actually end up getting any good drops, but you can probably camp that without food as well, so it's pretty crazy. I haven't been Armadale yet, but I really want to check that out. But obviously Zami you can camp with no food, Sara you can camp with no food, and I'm fairly confident you could do the same for Bandos if you set yourself up correctly. You know, all of these you can do solo with no food, so these are, you know, meant to be sort of tough bosses, I guess. Sort of a bit curious as to why Jagex haven't really balanced them more, because I would have thought that that would have been like one of the first things that they balanced out, but you know, that's Jagex. Nobody really understands it. But yeah, I throughout all of this, I really want to hurry up and make some God Wars dungeon guides just on those 3 bosses at least, so that I can, you know, show how to camp there with no food and stuff, if you want to see more than like you can currently see on screen, because it doesn't really tell you much. But yeah, basically Ice Barrage for Sara it works really well. I know there's a lot of other ways you can probably do it. You can probably do it with Water Surge as well, and Fire Surge for Zami. But yeah, I really want to make some guides with that anyway, so I'll get around to that eventually. But yeah, so that was really good. So just a few things that were a bit annoying about God Wars Dungeon now is, or you can see my 475 kill count on screen now, is Bandos kill count now takes like so long compared to before, because instead of the goblins being level like 5 or like level 3 combat level, you can just go around like one hitting them and like getting kill count really quickly. At the moment they're like over 100, like 100 plus combat. I think they're like level 120 combat, and so to be honest, like they are the biggest challenge about going Bandos. You know, it's not the actual boss, but at the moment it's the actual goblins and getting the kill count, because it does take a long time. And another really weird thing about God Wars Dungeon lately, like I noticed this throughout the double loot weekend, and when I wasn't killing them during the double loot weekend, is some minions have actually been dropping absolutely nothing. So, you know, it's not that bad, but you go to God Wars Dungeon, you want to have like a good chance of getting a split, and the minions do, you know, have a very rare chance of giving you a big split, but there's a chance there nevertheless. So you sort of want to get like just some drops from them, and so it was kind of a bit weird, because some kills you would kill the boss and the minions, and then all 3 minions would actually drop like no loot whatsoever. So that was a bit weird. Anyway, that's enough from that. I will go into some live footage now, and I'm gonna go see if I can sell some of these drops, and hopefully I'll be able to tick a few more items off the list for this week's PVM Pro. Hey guys, so in my bank at the moment I have I've kept the drops from Sara God Wars Dungeon. You can see the hiss, the shards and everything, the Sara swords, and I've also got some loots from finishing the Glacior's Road to Armadale Staff series. But I did have to spend some of the cash splits I got from Zami on farming, just so that I can keep that going and keep doing my farm runs and everything. Palm tree seeds, you know, cost like a fair bit. It costs a fair bit of money, but you know, I can keep doing that as well as getting more money towards this gear. Obviously, like the better gear I get as well means I can like camp God Wars Dungeon and other bosses and stuff a lot longer. So you know, increases the rate of how much like money I actually get from bossing. But yeah, I'll just pause the video and sell some of this stuff. Okay, so let's see what this sells for. Gonna sell the Ragefire boots. If you're wondering why I'm selling these, it's because I'll be getting the Glacier boots in the next part of the series, which will be called PVM Virtuoso. Okay, that sold for 7.3 mil. It's pretty good, pretty happy with that. Let's see what these sell for. I'm not sure if they're dropping or not. I'll try medium price. No, okay. Sara swords, I don't know if they're dropping or not. Oh, those sold for med price. That's good. 3.4 mil, not bad. You know, they did used to be worth about like 7 mil each, but I'm not gonna get into that because obviously the game's changed heaps, and evolution of combat has caused it's like so much stuff to crash. Wow, these are not selling. To be honest, I think these are the magic amulets that Sara drops, so to be honest, they're not actually that great. I can understand why they're not selling. Oh wow, that sucks. They're not selling for like 1 mil each. Let's try putting them a bit more under medium price. See if they sell for like 800k. Come on. Yes. 1.7 mil made bank. It's alright. Oh, Godsword Shard 1s. 300k right there. That's not bad. What about these Godsword Shard 2s? Wow, okay, so I made like almost close to 1 mil from that. Not really, but a little bit. Sell the blue dragon hide that I got from this Road to Armadale staff, my dragon maces. Oh, so many memories. Rune battle axe. And yeah, so I've got a fair bit of cash. All these water talisman, hopefully they're still worth a little bit. they were worth a lot more during the bonus XP weekend, that's for sure. They were crazy expensive. Wow, okay, so all up I've made a fair bit so far already. Hopefully, well, I should be able to hit 20 mil. Oh, 36 rune plate skirts, quite expensive. I've just like haven't bothered like really checking out how much all this is worth. I know I price checked all the Road to Armadale stuff loot the other day in the actual video, but it's really good. Should be able to tick a few items off the list, that's for sure. Yeah, this week I really wanted to get Karils, so I'm gonna go ahead. That's pretty much all the loot I have. Okay, 22 mil, 22.1 mil. I'm gonna take 5 mil out of that, and I'm just gonna keep that as some cash that I can just have on hand, as well as to pay for farming, because I only have one palm sapling left, and that's like a placeholder, so I'm gonna have to get some more palm tree seeds, and that's like every 24 hours I do that, so I wouldn't mind having a bit of cash for that. Now let's see what I can get. I wanted to get Karils because I don't have Armadale as like, but it's the same stats as Armadale, and except for like a few prayer point bonuses. So it's like really good range armor. Okay, so that's so cheap compared to like Armadale, but Armadale in the long run will be better because of the prayer bonus, and it doesn't degrade, as well as it being like a god item, so it won't let you get attacked at God Wars Dungeon. What else did I want to buy? Oh yeah, I just wanted to tick like a few more things off the list. Akrisaes. Not really sure why I'm getting Akrisaes, but I did really want to get the entire like all the Barrows sets, so that's pretty much why I want that. Okay, that's not selling. That's interesting. Maybe it's got some really decent prayer bonus or something, or maybe it's just not selling because, you know, Barrow stuff's probably going up because it's like so good. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so it's not even selling for 3 mil. All right. Let's try like 5 mil. That's like I mean, like Barrow's stuff should be worth like 5 mil plus, because if you compare the stats against like Bandos and stuff, like that stuff's crazy. Hopefully I don't get scanned. Hopefully it sells for like 3 or 4 mil. All right, here we go. Okay, sold for 4 mil. All right, I'm happy with that. And there was one more set of Barrow's gear that I need. That is the Guthans set. 1 mil. Wow. Okay, that's good. That's obviously dropped a lot. Still got 9 mil left over. What else did I want to get? Oh, I did want to get the Zamorakian Spear. Now you might be thinking like a fair few of these items you're buying TheThirdKnight are not so useful. Basically the reason I still have the Zamorakian Spear, oh my gosh. All right, there it is. The reason I still have this on the list is because look at that price. It's like 900k. It has the same stats pretty much as the 4 God Swords currently do, and this is a stab-based weapon as well as it being a 2-hand stab-based weapon. And yeah, obviously it's very cheap, and so, you know, one day it might be useful. Might even be useful now when I come across something like a boss that has a weakness to stab, and where rapier isn't so good, because rapier is obviously one-handed, or you can have the dual rapiers. But I don't know if this is like Zamorakian Spear is still effective at Corporal Beast or anything. Got 8 mil left over. I don't know what to get. I think I might just I think I might start trying to tick off Armadale armor. Actually, let's pause the video and check what I have to go. Okay, so I've decided what I'm gonna work on getting, and that is the Royal Crossbow now. So I'm not positive, but I think this is still worth getting, even though I've got a chaotic crossbow. There was some stuff that I actually looked at, and it sounded like it was worth getting still. Has like it's 2-handed compared to the chaotic crossbow, and it also has like I can't remember the actual reasons, but I've got it on the list still, and there was a reason that I wanted. So I'm gonna start working my way to get that. I need the royal frame now, and I'll just sell this like next episode or something if I don't actually need it. I've always sort of wanted to try it out and stuff. It's probably changed like a lot from the combat beta and stuff. I always like to check this stuff out before I get it. I need the royal sight as well. And you add all of this to the coral crossbow you get from Song from the Depths, I believe the quest is. I think that's it. You get, it's 4 pieces. Oh, sorry, it's 4 pieces. So I still need, what do I still need? I've got the torsion thingy. I've got frame, torsion, spring, sight, and stabilizer. Okay. Whoops. Royal bolt stabilizer. Wicked. Okay. So I'm going to try putting this together. Hopefully it's worth getting still. Otherwise, as I just said, I will sell it back next week. Still got 5 mil left over. So I think what I will do with that, I'll buy one last item. And that is the Armadale helmet. Where is it? Oh, actually, I don't know how much this is. 3.9 mil. Okay, that suits. I think the Armadale chestplate and plate skirt is a lot more at the moment as well. I'll just check the prices on them though before I go ahead with this. Armadale chestplate, 6 mil. Okay, what about the chain skirt? Alright, 8 mil. Okay, so we'll just stick with the Armadale helm, and that'll be it for this week. Wherever it is. Armadale helmet. Put an offer in for that. Bam. Okay, so that's it for this week. I'll assemble. Actually, I better assemble this thing. I might go assemble that later because I gotta go now. Hopefully this wasn't too rushed, but I actually have to go right now. And I'll assemble this and I'll have it, and I'll be able to show you guys next week. And hopefully I won't have to sell it because I've made a bad decision. But I'm fairly confident with it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Had a lot of fun this week. Got those, very nice to get the back-to-back Zami split with double loot. It would have been really awesome if that wasn't shard. Oh well, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you probably tomorrow for the next video.